Hey there, Vicarage fans. Just wanted to bid you a good day and see how everybody was doing out there. Hope all is well in your world. Well, it's back to work for me. Had my day off yesterday, and the toilet ring installation went just fine. The toilet ring is holding well. No leaks there, although there is a leak in the toilet tank now that I'm going to have to fix, but it's a slow one, so we're doing okay with that. Hey, I wanted to continue our chat through the weapons of our warfare, and I wanted to continue on in 1 Corinthians 13. We're talking about using the weapon of love in our spiritual battles. You know, the premise of our whole time together here is that we have to learn how to fight as Christians. We've spent most of our life learning how to fight as non-Christians, how to fight the way the world fights, with anger and violence and all those kinds of things. And it's time for the people of the church to rise up in their most holy faith and learn how to fight with their spiritual weapons and to do spiritual battle. Because in the end, it's important for us to remember that we do not fight against flesh and blood, according to Ephesians chapter 6, but we're actually fighting a much more powerful enemy who moves behind the scenes, who moves behind people, and who uses people to attack us. And if we're going to be effective in waging spiritual warfare and really beating the devil, our enemy, then we are going to have to use spiritual weapons, according to 2 Corinthians chapter 10, which are much stronger than our normal fleshly weapons. So love is a weapon that we use to fight with. We talked about that. And we've talked about patience and kindness. And if you're following along in 1 Corinthians 13 and you come to verse 4, you know that the next item we're talking about is supposed to be envy. But I felt very strongly that we need to jump down just for a bit and take one of the items out of order. I've been thinking about it for the last day and a half, and I feel like we need to jump to verse 5 and deal with the issue of anger. The Bible says that love is not easily angered. Not that it never gets angry, but it is not easily angered. You know, I think that in our current context, we have a huge problem with anger in our society. And most people, including Christians, are using anger as a weapon to do their warfare, spiritual or otherwise. You go on Facebook, you go on Twitter, you go on any of the social media outlets, and anger is a large part of our society's cultural context. We call ourselves a culture of offense. It seems like everybody is so easily offended. And can I just share with you that offense is based out of anger. It's based out of bitterness. It's based out of rage. And if you read Galatians chapter 5, you know that those are all parts of the flesh nature. They are all weapons of the flesh and fruits of the flesh, not fruits of the Spirit. The Bible says in James chapter 1, verse 19, it says, "My dear brothers, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry." And then in verse 20, listen to this. "For man's anger does not bring about the righteous life that God desires." Listen, folks, if we're going to fight a spiritual battle, we have to begin acknowledging the fact that we have to become less angry. We have to let go of our anger. I want to talk a little bit more about this. We don't have time today because we're almost out of time. But one of our greatest weapons is the weapon of love that does away with our unrighteous anger. More on that tomorrow. See you later. Check in with me again. Bye now.